We are continuing on page 33, the subject of color fill and palettes, and I'm briefly going to have a quick look at the fountain fill dialog box. Now this will be a brief look because it's actually a new tool called the Interactive Fountain Fill tool, which does the exact same thing and is easy to use. A little bit of old and new here. So I want to look at the old first because some people do occasionally use it. So I will quickly highlight it, but in our next lesson or in our next page, I will talk more in depth about the other interactive tool. When I created the amplifier for you that you can see here, I used fountain fills for some of the effects. In the bottom, you can see we are moving from light to green to lighter gray around the outside area here. You can see there is a light gray moving around the outside and the backing place itself. Let me just delete this. As you can see, I have to try to create a brush metal effect. Now all of these are using fountain fill. The sound indicate a light there again as you are using fountain fill. Basically what fountain fill is it's moving from one color through to another color, but we can do this in all sorts of ways. So let me quickly make that white in color, and I will shrink it down in size. Just a little bit as well, and I'm going to hit F11. Now over here with a filter list, remember we just looked at uniform fill, the next one down is fountain fill, and that's really why I am showing it to you, because there are many options here, so we are quickly going to learn most of them. So fountain fill or F11. The square that we have here, I can use this dialog box to fill it. Now there are different types of methods of filling: linear, radical, conical, and square. We will look at those in a moment, but basically you can blend from one color through to another. So let's blend from, say, yellow through to red. You can see an example up here. Click OK, and a beautiful yellow through red fill. So that's a fountain fill because it's a fountain of colors. F11 on my keyboard. If we were to go to the custom option, as you can see, the yellow through the red piece here, that little node represents the yellow. This node here represents the red. You can see it there as I click. If I double click along this line, so double click, double click, double click, and again I can add additional color nodes, and I can simply select one and make that an alternate color, as you can see. And so we can do all sorts of color blends. Now it's being clever with this that creates the effects that we are looking for. For example, to create that brush metal effect, if I select the first one, go with the light gray, the next one a dark gray, the next one slightly darker, slide this one along. By the way, you can slide back to like right that one there, slightly darker, and again slightly darker gray. So that's the effect up there. I can click in this little box and rotate just a little, like that. I will click OK, and can you see the brush metal effect? Let me just right-click to give that a lighter outline. So once you put your component on top of something like that, you can see it's kind of that aluminum brushed metal effect. So it's really how cleverly you think this through as to the effect. Now, this here is nothing more than a group of tiny little rectangles. Now when I select that again, F11, you can see the blend of colors. See, it's going from green, yellow, all the way through to red. So simply a fountain fill of 3 colors, green, yellow, and red. It is that easy, okay? Now again, like I said, I am going to show you some quick ways to do this shortly, but just as a final, just delete that. I am just going to show you a different type of fill using the circle here. F11. I'm going to choose this time radial, and I am going to go from dark blue. And you can click again inside the square, click on the white highlight because we are running from dark blue to white, and we are running the radial, which is a radial effect. So in other words, that is radiating from the white out to the blue. Radial effect. Click OK. Let's give that a much thinner outline. So 1, and watch this, plus on my keyboard, and I will shrink that down. I am going to make that gray and Control Page down, get rid of the outline and that bowling ball effect. Very, very simple. So I would like for you now to go ahead, see if you can create the brushed metal effect in here and the bowling ball effect you have seen me create there, and we will move on to our next lesson.